Back to another episode of Small Town Stories. I'm your host, Josiah Kraft, and with us today is Pastor Don. Welcome.
Good morning, Josiah. Thank you for having me.
So, before we get started, tell us a little bit about who you are to the town of Hobgood.
Well, I am the pastor at Hobgood Baptist Church. I came to faith late in life, gave my heart to the Lord at the age of 52 in 2007 in Sharpsburg. Right after my profession of faith, the Lord called me to his pulpit, and I began the process of preparing myself for ministry. I served the church while I was being licensed and ordained, and in 2014 began to look for my own ministry opportunity. A couple that was in church with us at the time had moved to Hobgood, and when Hobgood was looking for a pastor, they gave my name to the pulpit committee, and they called me, and I preached, and then I preached again, and then the deacon board met with me and asked me if I would serve as the interim pastor. That was in July of 2017. In April of the following year, we dropped the word interim, and I became pastor at Hobgood Baptist Church.
Interesting. So, tell us a bit more about how you came to Hobgood.
At the time when we began to serve the church, we were still living outside of Sharpsburg, and we commuted for 2 years. We found a lady who was interested in our home, and we rented it to her. We started staying in the parsonage that the church owns in October of 19, and then moved in for good later on that year. And we are as happy as we can be. On many occasions, the Lord simply confirms to me over and again that we are exactly where we're supposed to be. We've sold the house, and in all honesty, I have no idea what we're going to do if I outlive this ministry, but we're happy where we are.
That's great to hear. So, tell us a bit more about the church you work at, the Hobgood Baptist Church.
Hobgood Baptist Church was actually established as a church body at the same time that the town was founded in 1889. The town was founded to create a train depot. And in the plan, they actually had space for 3 churches, Baptist being one of them. The church has been in existence. They got a building 2 years later in 1891. Been in existence and have been serving the community ever since. We have about 60 members, and we serve by helping people across the street and around the world. We have an Embrace Ladies ministry who has a ministry of helping people in time of need, when someone's sick, when someone's hurt. They deliver meals, they help with errands, and at funerals they provide meals for the family of the deceased. Our church is part of the Baptist State Convention and North Roanoke Baptist Association, and in that way we participate in a number of large ministries, including supporting the International Mission Board, the North American Mission Board, and a very special ministry that is the realm of the Baptist State Convention in North Carolina called Baptist Children's Home. There are 22 campuses that through social services locate troubled children or children who come from troubled homes and provide them with a Christian-based home that can bring them back into faith. They also support single mothers, and just recently have begun to be a support function for the adoption agencies in the state of North Carolina. We contribute to the mission boards, and we've also supported individual missions, including an ex-neighbor who graduated from college and immediately went to serve as a missionary in Iraq.
Really?
In the midst of a Muslim community. She and I texted each other back and forth and had to keep her identity secret. Couldn't use certain words in the text. The other local one that we did recently was a lady who was from our town who has been to Kenya several times. And one of our past pastors also has been to Kenya to serve. I like to say that our little church of 60 members helps people across the street and around the world.
That's great to hear. It's amazing to see a church, such a small town, do so many things around the world and help so many people. Are there any events or things that your church hosts for the town of Hobgood?
Well, as I said, our Ladies Embrace are a response ministry. We, as members, participate in a number of things going on. The two events that happen that our members are very involved with are the 4th of July fireworks and the Cotton Festival. The Cotton Festival is an annual event that celebrates the town, and we have a number of members on that committee who work long and hard to help that happen. And the same committee puts on our 4th of July fireworks. You know, our little town of 268 people draws thousands for our 4th of July fireworks show. And it is special because it is a small town celebration. It just so happens that the town square, the town square where we have these events, sits right next door to what was the first Methodist church.
The first?
The first Methodist church, which was built over 100 years ago and was actually located about a mile out of town. And when the new church was built, the old church was rolled into its current position. One of the things I love about the town, the center of the town is a church. It was rolled into position on logs, and we rent out both the church and the depot where the train used to come, which is now the town fellowship hall. So our members are very active. We have a former mayor of town. We have a former state representative. And as members of the community, we are very connected.
It's great to hear. So what in particular makes Hobgood such a special place to you?
My father was in the military, and I've lived in many, many places. More than anything else, it is the small town atmosphere, the fellowship, the camaraderie, and the pace of small town life. I've had many occasions speaking to God. I am absolutely certain that we are exactly where we are supposed to be. We live in the parsonage in town. We love the town and the people around us. It is simply, I believe, a very special part of God's creation. We're sinners like everybody else, but there's just something about Hobgood that makes it very, very wonderful to live there.
That's great to hear. So, can you tell us a bit about the previous sermon you've preached at your church?
Again, the Lord blesses me. I look for His leadership. I listen to Sunday school classes, and I look at things on Facebook, and I hear things on the radio which lead me to messages. My most recent message was about how it is necessary for the church to speak up against what we know are evils in the world. Our last church service, by the way, we meet on Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock and on Wednesday nights at 7:30. Our last Wednesday morning service, we ordained 2 new deacons.
2 new deacons, good to hear.
Deacons are basically responsible for the business leadership of the church. We're very, very blessed to have deacons who truly love the Lord and want to serve Him. In the book of Acts, when the office of deacon was originally created in the brand new Christian church, they already had been successful, but it says when the men stepped up to serve in that office, the church was blessed. And we were blessed this last Sunday. 2 more men stepped up, and men who do that in God's will are going to be a blessing to the church and to the community.
That's wonderful to hear. Well, thank you for coming on the show, Mr. Don. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Josiah, I appreciate you and your effort here. I pray that many will hear about the joys of living in the little town of Hobgood and might want to come join us.
As do I. And we appreciate all of you for listening in. I'm Josiah Kraft, and we hope to see you again in Hobgood, USA.